Hey, what's up, guys? This is T-Bone here, and today we are going to be doing some deck building for this event because I don't really have the event deck here, and I haven't really had a chance to play with the event either. So what I thought I would do is I would actually try to play through the event, and we also have the Proving Grounds now, so I am going to try to do that as well today. Might as well, since it looks like they do they have a 5-day rotation period and then 2 days with nothing. So we're going to do some Proving Grounds today in addition to the event. So I see Vijal and Hanske here in the chat. Welcome to the stream, everybody. Thanks for joining me here. So you can take a look at my gem count. I am down to 155 gems. I tried to pull for the 300 gem special and didn't get anything from there. So you can see it's actually out of rotation there. The only other options are 19.99 and 4.99 packs, but I just kind of feel like I'm not really willing to chase. I did spend 300 gems on the anniversary pack just so I can get a couple more Master Collection dust. The reason for that is because I'm getting close. I'm fairly close to it. I have enough for the ultra rare, and I am just about. I'm actually going to be about less than 2,000 dust before I get the Master Collection card, because I have not yet collected the 600 using Evangela. I do have her, I just didn't level her up just yet. And so we got Brian Yu and Alpha Omelet, Kiana and Ben, as well as Zuzu MacDuck. Welcome to the stream here. So as I mentioned earlier, today I'm just gonna be playing through the event here, and I'm gonna try different various decks. The one I'm using right now does actually use the two ultimate forms, the Spirits United as well as the Freedom Fighters. And I do have the event card in here, Ravalak, which does give me the Gem Destroy. And I put in Hell in here just so that I could get some additional gem spawn, and she is a Slayer card, so it helps as well. There are other options, obviously, but right now this is the one I'm working with. I do want to make sure that I keep at least this event card in here so I can take advantage of the relics, so I can have more gem spawns there. But my goal here is probably I'm gonna try to play through various different cards and just kind of see like what works best, given that I don't actually have the event card. And one thing I'm thinking about right now is whether or not I should just go ahead and evolve this one as well. I think I might just go ahead and do that. I'm going to go ahead and evolve it so I have two event cards, so I can have this option as well when I talk about some different ideas. So we got John Wilson and Angel 111. Welcome to the stream. Nice to see you guys as usual. So I'm going to go ahead and get my tier. And then I think I'm running low on the dark essence, but I can still craft this. That's all right. All right. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna at least just evolve the event card to 6 stars, so I can have 2 of them. Now I don't really like the support card. So the support card isn't really that good. Like aside from allowing you to use your relic and also getting the 10 times Slayer bonus, I just don't feel like the support card has much use in this particular setup, or really ever. One, because it's a nuke, and the nuke really isn't something that you want ever in a Slayer deck. And two, the only time it really spawns power gems is when it is below 50% health, and at which point you're either going to be done with the fight already, or you're not going to be able to defeat a boss you need to defeat. And so I don't really like the support card. So I'm going to try and find, I think there'll be other options that we can look at. Just, but I think the event card is going to be a decent one to use. So we got Gabor and also Do Razak. Welcome here. And so, by the way, you guys may notice I usually have a mug with me and some tea here, and I actually brought up the tea I usually drink with me in case anybody's interested. But this is one of my preferred brands. If this is one I'm drinking right now, this is the, you can't really see because it's green. So this is the Moroccan green tea, and I guess the other one is also green, so you won't be able to see it, right? This one's probably going to be even worse. So you can at least kind of see it. So this is the Geisha Blossom. This is a green tea, so I really enjoy this. But right now I'm drinking mint, and so that's just something that I prefer to drink. And in case there's any tea drinkers out there, we can share some ideas. Anyways, I'm gonna go in and do some fights right here, and Alpha Omelet, I will definitely be helping out with deck building today. I am also planning on doing the Proving Grounds so that we can try those as well. I would have really liked to try it with the Proving Grounds with the ultimate form this time, but I'm not sure if I'll be able to get it today. So we're gonna see. And so right now I'm just kind of seeing where I'm at. I think I'm still safe, just barely, but if I'm able to get through some ultimate bosses, then I should be fine. So like I've sort of been trying to collect, collect the ultimate tokens through just trying to get MVP and whatnot. But right now it's kind of slow going. Haven't really been playing as much as I would have liked, and so I'm not even my boss is not even at 300 yet. But with this particular team, I'm still doing okay because it's still a one turn damage deck, for the most part. Because I don't have the Beast Killer, I'm not going to be able to one shot kill some of the higher level bosses. But with the relics in place and the fact that I do have all Generation 3 heroes, I generally don't have an issue here. So like if you have Generation 3 heroes, I mean like this is the 5th iteration now. Let me rephrase this. This is the last Dark Slayer deck for the entire Generation 3 that has the first wave of Generation 3s that's come out. And so hopefully by this point you have at least quite a few of the support cards and event cards built up and whatnot. But if not, if you don't have the event card and you don't have any of the ultimate forms, then that's really where I think we could really kind of think about what are some of the good cards that we can use. And so if we take a look at just the Dark Slayer cards, and if we take a look at it by power, so the first one we can take a look at is when you're doing deck building, like what are some of the things that you can use? And so if we disregard any ultimate forms, like obviously if you have an ultimate form you would want to use it. I don't see a reason why you wouldn't. But if you don't have one, what can you use? Any Master Collection cards would be obvious, and any ultra rare cards that give you additional boost are going to be the other plus. But if we take away that too, right, now we're down to just the main hero and the support cards. I'm going to give my rundown of what I think are going to be the good cards to use and what are some that you should stay away from. And so if we take a look at the, sort of running down from, I guess just using the powers here. So if we take a look at the support card, Militant Maven is a support card that basically will, that is the ultra rare card, so I won't use that. I guess it's because it's by power. So we'll kind of go down here. So we'll take a look at Hearn, which is a event card, and this card comes from a spirit deck. And what this card will do is it'll basically create power gems only if the hunt is active, but it does create 4 dark gems, and it can do it every turn. So you have multiple of these cards. Basically every turn you'll be able to create dark gems. And if you can create at least 12 gems, then you'll be able to generate power gems using your relics. And so this will at least be a quick deck, but it won't be as powerful. So, and also this requires you to use the support card, but the support card won't act. The support card has a very long cooldown at 5 turns, right? So it has a 5-turn cooldown, and so you can't. It's just like using just the support card and the event card isn't really going to be a great combination if you don't have if you don't have the Master Collection card in this case, it's not going to be powerful enough. And so like this is probably like lower on the priority list of what I would choose to use in terms of what you should consider using in your deck there. And so we got Noelia and Sondi and Daylight Runner. Welcome here. And so I'm just kind of doing a sort of rundown of the cards I think are good to use if you don't have the Master Collection card Ultra Rare or the Ultimate Form. Hell, so we talked about the Head Cap, and then obviously Hell is a Master Collection card, but the other card, which is Soul Reaper, is a really good card to use, and so I would recommend using that at anytime you have a Dark Slayer event. You just need to make sure you can create 4 power gems, and there are other cards that can do that for you. So Slime Launcher is a event card as well that comes from the Bio Blitzer deck. This card is decent if you just use it for its nuke damage. Now, it only deals 50% of the damage, so it's actually not as great. But if you think about it, on a 3-key attack, you basically will multiply that by 5. So it actually will deal 2.5 times the damage of whatever this card deals. So if you're able to get a pretty strong team going, one thing you could also do is just add the slime launcher in here so that you can at least get 2.5 times whatever this card deals. Now, because it's now a 4 times Slayer rather than 10 times when it first came out, the damage isn't going to be that substantial, but it's still a good nuke compared to other nukers. And so this would be something that you could use as long as you can actually get a good amount of damage in there. And so you're going to have to pair with other cards. And then we have, like Ogilvy, which is the support card from quite a while ago. This was the Ogilvy. This is a good Dark Gem spawner with 4-turn cooldown. Hylic is a support card that can create a lot of gems if you have a lot of them, especially if you have like 2 of them in there. You should be able to fill the board. Now, you do need to get, basically when it attacks, it creates gems. And then if you apply it, then whenever you attack, you can fill up the board with all of the cards and basically all of the cards you have in here. So this is one that I think would work well. It doesn't work in certain situations, like there are cards that it doesn't work well with, but I think that this might actually not be a bad set of support cards to go with your event card here. So we actually might give that a try. And so here's Ballistic Commander Cheetah, which is the one that has it creates the most power gems out of all the dark gem spawners, but it has a really high cooldown as well at 6 turns, which for Slayers, it's one of those like you just use it one time and you're done basically. So we talked about Soul Reaper, and that's all I have really for Dark Slayer. So there's not a whole lot of choices here. Like my Dark Slayer selection is actually a little small. So let's go ahead and build a team now. Let's take a look at an option I talked about, which uses, let's try using Hylic, right? So we can use Hylic there, and we can do, I think I have 2 of them. So we can do 2 Hylic. And I do want to make sure that I put in 2 of my event cards. And so that's going to be, where are they? Right here. So these are the 2 cards that will at least do Gem Destroy. And what they'll do is they will destroy gems and then create a couple of power gems as well. Now for the 5th card, which one should I go with? I think that I'm not going to get any power gem 4s. And so I'm not really going to be getting the benefit of the power gems. I can create 5. Another option I could have is, since if I'm going to be using Soul Reaper, I'm actually going to be losing out some of my damage there. And so one of the cards I can actually bring back in would be I think I could actually try and bring in a card as a commander card. So let me go ahead and get it, but I need to clear out a card, some space first. I don't have, I don't have the gems to buy new slot. So Jim Paulson, welcome. So I'm doing some deck building, and then if anybody has any issues with their deck, let me know your in-game name, and I will take a look as well. So Daylight Runner, I think I see Dragon Jewel. Let me know if that's if you would like me to take a look as well. And Surf Carly, Gabor Pinter, I think you put your name in there so I can take a look. So I will go down that list. I'll start with Gabor Pinter, and then I'll go down to Daylight Runner afterwards. So just bear with me, give me a second here while I think about what card I don't need. And I think I'm going to get rid of one of the Sonnets. I don't actually use Sonnet anymore, and so I can actually just clear him out for space. Go to Codex. I'm going to go with the Dark Corrupt Commander. And so that's going to give me the Guardian of Gaul. And this is the one that I'm going to try and bring in just to see. Oh, I actually have him. So I didn't need to clear. All right. So then let's go to the cards. So if I actually had it, then I could just put it into my team. Now, the thing with putting in a commander card in a Slayer deck, which isn't always what I recommend, is that you're losing a 5th of your damage, and you're also losing the total number of gems that you can create on turn 1. And so this is just kind of, I'm just throwing ideas out there just kind of to test it out. But, if you don't have anything better, then this is, an option that you can go with. So let's go with the deck, Dark Slayer. So I don't mind the event card actually, and I think what we need to talk about is also the order of activation for these cards. And so if you have the deck, what you want to do is you want to make sure that you activate the Master Collection cards first before you activate the Ultra Rare card and the Ultimate Form. And I think the best way is to actually activate your 2 Master Collection cards, then Ultimate Form, and then your 2 Ultra Rare cards if you have 2 of them. So that you can actually get the most number of power gems, and that will increase your damage the most. And so I think what I want to do is so it's going to be this one, and I think let me take a look which one this is. So Blastmaster, is it for Curse? No, so it's not going to be that one. It's going to be actually the Mace. it's going to be this one, so that you can actually take advantage of that. All right, so let's give this a try and just kind of see how this all works. And so Chimeng, welcome to the stream here. And Li Shang, I can take a look as well. So in-game name is King of All Gods. All right, so we've got a couple of people that have put their names down, so we will definitely go through that. And so if we take a look, I might be powerful enough with this team even that will take it out. We'll see. Once you have the relics and you have all these, 10 times heroes, I think that the guild boss with like 4 billion just isn't going to. I guess it's still okay. All right, so what you want to do in this particular case is you want to activate this if you can, and then you can activate your. Yeah, so this already fills up the board. So what you can do is, even though you don't have any gems to really destroy, you can still create power gems, right? So you can still create power gems, and now you have basically a board full of gems. And I think actually a better way to play this might actually be to activate these two first before activating highlight. So we'll try that. So now we go ahead and use Guardian of Gaul. So I think this actually might be a deck where the timing wise, it might still be better to activate the event cards first. Let's try that one more time, and then let's see if that makes any difference. So let's try this again. And so like, I think in general, if you have like a Gemfall type deck, it's probably better to just activate them first and use them, unless you have a card that specifically increases the Gemfall. So like Guardian of Gaul actually does increase the gem drop rate, but you need to have Corrupt Relic. If you don't have any Corrupt Relic in there, then it isn't really going to do that much of an increase for you. So that's just something to keep in mind. All right, so I think what we said is we want to activate. Do we want to do that? If we activate first, yeah, I guess what happens there is I end up losing the power gems here, and so that's actually not correct. So that's not what you want to do. Oh, I didn't play it right. I didn't activate. I need to activate everything, and then I'll try this one more time. You need to activate everything, and then do a power gem swap. I didn't actually play that right correct. Did you miss how to kill ultimates? No, because I don't have a team to kill it. So I'm actually not going to be able to do it in this particular stream. And I think I can, because I do have the Spirits United, and I do have also have my Freedom Fighters, but I don't think I'm going to do that until I actually have this particular ultimate form, which is going to be probably tomorrow, if I can get all of my dust together. All right, so I think actually the way that I played it the first time is still better. So activate highlight first, get all of your gems, and then activate your gem spawn, the event cards, and then get the other cards that spawn gems. You can see that the damage here is a lot lower, and so definitely in this particular case you want to play it later. And so that was just kind of like you're trying an idea here. I think that team actually can work. And if you take a look there, it's 2 event cards, 2 support cards, and 1 from Generation 2. So that's not too bad. All right, so let's take a look here. I think the first person that did ask for help here is Gabor Pinter, which is Surf Carly. So let's take a look at your cards. But I think, to answer the question about ultimates, I think the one that there's a couple of variations that you could go with. One would be Spirits United plus Freedom Fighter plus the ultimate form. And you definitely want to put in a couple of ultra rare cards. Or you can take out Freedom Fighters completely and go with just the Spirits United and also the other full setup with this event team. The nice thing about Spirits United is that at 300 skill points, you can start collecting, ultimate gems every single time you hit. And because you can activate it every single turn, you can really save up the ultimate gem until you're ready to activate, the other ones again, so that you can actually get 2 to 3, at least 2. You can get 3 or 4 ultimate gems on the board, which will give you a lot of damage output as well. But keep in mind, this particular event, the ultimate boss has been updated, so it deals a lot more damage. Like, you might find that you used to survive a lot longer, but they've taken the tack value of the bosses a lot higher, so you might die earlier than usual. They've also decreased the total amount of trophies, so you can't just run away from the leaderboards just by going through ultimates. All right, so let's take a look at the cards here and let's see what you're running with. So we see a full Spirits United deck, which I think, and also I see a Bio Blitzer deck that uses Hell and Soul Reaper. And so I think just that in itself is going to be strong enough. And then we have a Commander deck here, and then the combination of the Freedom Fighters with Spirits United. Or actually, I don't see the Freedom Fighter. This is just Spirits United there. And I'm not sure if you're using any of the other slots in there, so I can only see what's in slot 1. So I guess what I'll do is I'll take a look at your deck here. I'll just take a look at your collection. And given that you already have Freedom Fighter and Spirits United, I think you're going to be, like I said, I think you'll do just fine. You shouldn't have any problems with this event. Like, I think Ultimate Boss is probably going to be a little bit of a challenge, just because you will have just the Spirits United and you won't have 2. But even with that, you should be able to get through at least 10 levels without any issue. I mean, going higher, I don't know. I think you'll probably need to bring in a healer in this case. So I see that you have the Enriched Vanark, which is the ultra rare card, which is going to be a great card to put in any deck. And so this card right here will create power gems based on the number of gems on the board. And so I think no matter what team you bring in, you'll want to bring in the Enriched Vanark with you. And so in this case, if you were running a full Spirits United deck, such as this one, for example, you're going to benefit from taking out this card. So you're going to want to get rid of your Het Cat. So get rid of your Het Cat, put in the ultra rare card from this deck, and you should have you'll be able to deal a lot more damage, right? So you'll want to use that for sure. So there's no need for you to use the Het Cat in that case. So like if that's the team you're using, that'll be my recommendation. And the other reason why you'll want to do that is because this card will give you increased. It'll also give you increased, gem drop, and also it has its own beast killer, so it will also deal 200% more damage on top of its 13 times bonus. You won't get any heal from this card, like you're gonna get your heal from other cards, but I think that if you're not going up against ultimate bosses, you should be more than fine here. Like I think that's I think this is going to be a reasonable turn to MVP type deck. If you're going up against ultimate bosses, then you're going to have to get the heal from, I think, the Master Collection card that does a heal. And I don't think the support card gives you any heal. Yeah, support card just attacks, so it doesn't actually give you heal. So it's going to be the event card. I think the event card heals a little bit. Let me take a look at my deck there. Let me see if it does have any heal. So it does heal, but it heals for 100% of self-recovery for every gem that you destroy. So the Ultimate Form and the Master Collection card is going to do a lot more, just because this will only destroy up to 15 gems. Well, it starts with 15 and goes up. So it will help. Every 3 turns you can heal that way. But like I said, because the ultimate boss is a lot stronger now, it may not be feasible for you to just depend on that. So you might want to bring in a healer, and in which case, the 2 cards that I can think of, one would be Leifer, which is a Dark Slayer card that actually heals. I can show you. So it's a Dark Fable card. And the other one is going to be the Wicked Queen. Now, the Wicked Queen actually heals better than Leifer does. Leifer heals for 5% of your Leifer will heal for 5% of your max HP, whereas the Wicked Queen will heal for 10% of your HP each time. And so you're gonna get a little bit heal from the Wicked Queen. And I think if you run Leifer, at some point you're going to it's going to damage more than it heals. And so that's just something to think about, but it will help you with survivability. And the other person that I talked about is Dragon Jewel. So let's take a look at your cards here. Oh, sorry about that. I accidentally knocked the mic, so there might be a loud bump there. Sorry about that. All right, so I see you're using 2 support cards here. I'm not sure how I feel about using support cards, honestly, in this deck, just because I don't think the nuke is really strong enough to do any real damage, and it actually makes you lose a turn. And so I prefer not using the support card, honestly, if I have the option. And again, I'm seeing that you have the Spirits United deck right here, and so I think you have better options there. You could use, let's see. So, like I said, if you have the Ultimate Form, always go for that. You have Bio Blitzer, highly recommend that you include it because you get 5 times nuke damage with this card, and so you get 2 Power Gem 4s, and then you can get more from. So I would say Spirits United, and probably you should have a Kadok. So you have Kadok, Spirits United, Bio Blitzer, and you'll probably want to put in your Hekcat. Um, where did your Hekcat go? Yeah, here it is. So the Spirit Caller, Hekcat, Spirits United, Bio Blitzer, Kadok. That's the 4 cards there. And then for your 5th card, if you have at least 2 event relics and you want to take advantage of them, that would say, oh, you just have the support cards. You don't have the event card even. I mean, to me, it's kind of a loss to be using it, but you're gonna basically you're basically losing 2 Power Gem 3s in that, or at least 1 Power Gem 3 in that case. So putting him in there is fine, I guess, for both the additional damage and also just for the relics. Otherwise, you could put in Hell. You could put in, what are the other good options? I think putting in Hell is going to be your best choice here because all the other cards, they generate Power Gem 1s, and you can get better with Power Gem 2s with Hell. Or even Slime Launcher would be okay, but then I think you're going to start losing out on the gem creation because Spirits United and Kadok, they each create 7 gems. And so this is a turn 3 type deck. So then Kadok plus Spirits United, that gives you 14. Bio Blitzer gives you 2, that's 16. And then Hekcat gives you Power Gem 2s, I think. I think it will give you 5 Power Gem 2. So you get another 5, so that's 19. And then if you can put in Hell, that's another 10. So then you're going to be able to fill the board that way with that setup. That particular setup, you're not going to be using this event deck, but I think you're going to be more than okay to at least get some damage in. But it's not going to be a turn 2 deck. That's the only thing. So you're not going to be able to get quick MVP on turn 2 using Spirit Caller deck. And so if that's the case, if we're thinking like a turn 2 MVP, you want to go in, you want to be able to get MVP. The best cards really for Dark Slayer, you might actually consider putting in, oh, your Elmar is not Ascended. So if you put in Ascended Elmar, and then you put in cards that can create Power Gems at the beginning, like Bio Blitzer and also Slime Launcher, they all create Power Gems on turn 1. That's going to help you at least guarantee that you get damage in the beginning. So those are some of the things to think about. But I don't know if using support cards is going to be helpful there. Hope that helps. All right, so let's take a look here. Who else is in? Think of the Reaper. Is there anyone else that I saw beforehand? So we got the Reaper and also Double Straw from Convergence. Double Straw from Convergence. I think that's the name from the guild. Okay, I can take a look. Now, Judge of All, I don't know. I haven't played the Ultimate Boss yet, so I don't know what setup you're using and what challenges you're having. But in general, I believe the issue is the boss hits harder now, so you think you might be dying quicker. And so if the heals that you're getting from your... the question is whether or not you're getting enough heal to fully heal yourself from your event card, from your Master Collection card and your Ultimate Form. And if you find that you're not healing quite enough, then try considering putting in your... try putting in a scepter so that you can increase the total heal, because remember the heal based on the recovery. So if you increase the recovery, you can also increase the heal. Otherwise, you'll have to put in a healer in order to survive longer. Beyond that, it's really just get more pink stars. Like that's kind of the answer to everything at this point, right? But I think, seriously though, all joking aside, look at how you can heal better. And that is going to be a lot easier to get higher levels of ultimate rather than trying to squeeze in that little bit of attack while sacrificing heals or just health. So let's take a look at the Reaper MX, and see what we're working with here. So I think Spirits United was the event where they had trading. Is that right? Is that why everybody has the ultimate form? I'm trying to remember, but it seems like everyone I look at, they all have the Spirits United deck, so that makes it easy, right? At least from a recommendations perspective, I would say, well, you have it, just use it. If you don't, then we can look at some of the other options. And I do see also Soul Reaper in one of the decks there, so that's an option there. So really, I think, again, like I was saying, there's no reason to put in 2 support cards. I think putting in 2 support cards from here is actually going to be more detrimental to your overall damage, especially if you can put better power gem spawners in the deck. Just because, like, we'll take a look at the stats again, right? So Ravlock doesn't do anything except. Oh no, this is event card. I'm sorry, they look so similar. So putting in event cards is okay, but don't put in the support card. Putting in support cards isn't going to be helpful, but putting in 2 event cards is a different story. That I could see. So I guess you want to put in the two event cards in here. You've got the Spirits United Kadok and the Star Color Hekkat. Like, that in itself is a team right there. Kano is going to be just Power Gem 1 spawner, and you have Slime Launcher, but I think that's not going to be as strong compared to the other cards you have. So based on the cards I see here, and then the other question is whether or not it would be beneficial for you to take out one of your event cards for a Soul Reaper. So the question is, Soul Reaper is a Generation 2 card that creates 10 Power Gem 1s. Would that be better than taking out, one of your event cards that will create Power Gem 2s? It does create 2 Power Gem 2s compared to 10 Power Gem 1s, but this will give you this will give you 10 times bonus for overall damage. And so I think depending on the number of gems that you create, it might even out a little bit. And so I would give it a try. But so far, like, from what I could see from the team that you have, that seems like the best option. It seems like you're already doing that. And then from a commander card's perspective, so Conscience is a card that will create Power Gem 3s, but you need to, basically you need to have more of these cards to really create them. And if you wanted to reset, you could. But I'm not sure how well it plays into this deck per se, or into this sort of Slayer meta. I think what you got there probably would be the team that I would run as well. Again, like, I wouldn't put in just regular Hekkat. I would put in something else like this. Once you have the Ultra Rare card, I would put in the event card in this case, just so that you can deal more damage overall. Okay, so hopefully that helps there, Reaper. And let's see, Susan Thomas. Double Straw. Okay, so Double Straw from the Guild Convergence. I could take a look at your setup as well. Taking a look here, and I see event, and I'm going to assume this is the one. So I see Spirits United and Star Color Hekkat. You've got the Ultra Rare card, and then you've got the 2 event cards. So that by itself right now looks like a good setup. So the question I have for you is, do you find that it's not dealing quite enough damage, or are you maybe kind of curious on what the best activation order is? So given the fact that it depends. Like, if you wanted to have Power Gem creation, then you'll probably want to activate Spirits United, the Hekkat collar on turn 2, and then activate everything afterwards. But if you want it to be quicker, then you may not even need to do that. Like, in that you might want to just put in Spirits United and Kadok. Then what you can do is on turn 2, you can actually just create a bunch of gems, then use your event cards to remove the rest of the gems and create a couple, and then use Enrich Venerk to then create more Power Gem 4s on the board. You might actually get in, like, it will give you enough damage to get a quick turn 2 damage without waiting an extra turn. So remember, in Slayers, the thing that's really sort of difficult is getting the MVP, getting the boss to be taken out quickly. Like, it's hard enough with 1 or 2 turns in there. Like, it's going to be nearly impossible to get the MVP or even that 15% if you need to take 3 turns to do the damage. And so if you're looking for a faster deck, I would actually recommend taking out the Star Color Hekkat in this case, and then putting in the Haddock just so that you can get quicker gem spawn, and then you can then basically create more power gems so that you could deal more damage. I would even consider putting in different Generation 3 cards so you can use a different relic. And I noticed that you have a you have all commander relics here. I'm not sure if you're just kind of testing it out, but you're going to want to put in Slayer decks, obviously. So I'm just kind of looking at what you call the event, and then looking at the other cards in here. So you have Spirit Genetic, you have Haddock in here, and as I was saying, you might consider taking out this Starcaller Headcat for another Generation 3 card. That's maybe a gem spawner or something, just so they can also use the relic in its place so they can generate more power gems. So that would be a trick that you could try just to increase the amount of damage you can do quickly. So let's see. Let's take a look at the... So thank Puku Emerald. We can definitely take a look as well. And, just want to see how, you were in the guild at one point. So I wanted to say hi and see how things are going for you. Emerald. I'm making sure that I don't miss anything. So Nathan Fogel, thanks for joining us. Nice to see you in the stream as well. And let's take a look. And let's see what you're working with. So I don't see a dark setup. It could be that you're using... Oh, no, here it is. So you've got the Draconic Scoundrel. So you're using the Ultimate Form, and then you have the 2 Master Collection cards and the Ultra Rare card. So let's see what the 5th card is. So the 5th card here... So you have a 3x Awaken, which I would not generally recommend awakening support cards, because even though it might seem like a good thing to do, and I would recommend saving the mana for things like your ultimate forms. I would always save the Wisp and then use the mana on the ultimate forms. It's going to be a better return on your investment. But with this, I think that you might actually get a better deal if you have the event card. So let's take a look at if you have the event card. So this was the case where I would say, okay, so you don't have the event card, so I can understand why you put in the support cards there. Then let me think for a second. So this is the support card, which creates gems. I don't think you'll need that. And let's see, in terms of, and I'll take a look at the relics as well, because I think relics is going to be important to consider as well. So this is a case where, so Kano creates 4 power gem once, and let's see your relics here. So your relics are, okay, so I see that you're using a saber, and so let's take a look to see if we can take a look at your relics, because I want to see if there's a different option. So Dark Slayer, so we got 4 relics. Okay, so because I was thinking about whether or not Kano would be better, just because you can get additional power gems in there and you can take advantage of the relic. And given that's not the case, we can also take a look at your commander cards and see if there's something that we can do. Now, I'm not saying that this is a bad setup. I think that this might actually be the ideal setup for you right now. I just wanted to see if there's another option that we have here. So we got High Justice Pit, which I think is not going to be helpful because it just resets your cards there. And so I think that what you've got right now is actually the best. And so in terms of the activation order, I would just not recommend activating this card at all. And so I would activate the 2 Master Collection cards first, then your Ultimate Form, and then finally your Ultra Rare cards. So that would be the recommendation I have for how you play this. Like if you use the support card, you're just going to waste a turn that you could be using to do the full attack. So I would recommend never activating the support card if you're going to play him. With your setup, I think this is a perfectly good team. If you don't activate him, then you're going to see more MVPs and at least 15% for the bosses that you do enter an attack. So that would be my recommendation there. Good luck with your event there. Okay. So let's see. Chromosux, since you have no luck this event, you've got a total of 11 Gen 3 Dark Slayers total. You've been using K-pop and getting better results. Well, that's good. If you can get better results, then that's good. Mount Fillmore, pull nothing this event. So let's take a look and see what you got. And I also want to try and do a, at least one one fight in the Proving Ground. So after I take a look at Mount Fillmore's cards, I'm gonna jump into that. So Dark Summoner Oriana, Dark Summoner Oriana. So let's see what cards you are using. And I guess it's really a shame that there's no way for me to go through the groups because I can't really tell like what's the actual team that people are using. So I guess I'll just have to go through the cards directly. That way we can take a look and see what you're working with. And so we got Spirits United, and so I've sort of gone through this already. And you've also got the Grandier Luden. So you got Spirits United, got two Cadox, and you have the ultra rare cards. So that in itself is going to be a more than sufficient team already, especially if you put in Grandier Luden. Now, Grandier Luden has a cost, I believe, so it costs 50 skill points. That means it's going to take you at least 2 turns to use it. So it's not going to be a fast deck if you use him, so I wouldn't necessarily recommend it. If you had other Dark Gem Spawn cards, I would have also thought that, using Almar Ascended would be an option as well, just so you can get turn 1 damage. But let's see. Aside from that, I mean, you've got Hell, but Hell won't come in handy unless you can use... it won't come in handy just because you can't create any power gems until turn 3. By which point, you're probably going to be powerful enough anyway, you're not going to need Hell. Given what you have, you're going to be getting almost a full board of power gems at that point as well. So the real question here is, are you able to get quick turn 1 damage, enough damage at least so that you can get either MVP or on turn 2 or enough damage for 15% on turn 1? That's really the question here. And I would guess that if you're running just Spirits United, you may not, because you don't have the ultimate kill. You don't have the killer bonus, and I don't think you have enough power gems on turn 1 to do that. And so this is going to be very much a turn 2 deck. And so if you're looking for a turn 2 deck, then let's take a look at also your commander cards. So for turn 2, probably we're going to want to use Hell. We're going to want to incorporate Hell. And I see Menacing Tipalang, that's going to be your Power Gen 4 spawner. And the other Power Gen 4 spawner for Slayer is going to be... So Luden is the only one I see, and that's not going to be helpful. And right now, I'm really trying to think, like, how can we get you a turn 2 deck, right? So Overloaded Beloved creates 2 Power Gen 4s. And if you had either Bio Blitzer or... If you had Bio Blitzer, that would have been great, because that would have given you the other 2 Power Gen 4s. I kind of don't want to go with Tikbalang just because it's a commander cards. If I can at all avoid it, I would like to. And I want to get as many Generation 3 cards in here. It just really sucks that we still have Master Collection cards that require skill points. So that because of the cost, you can't use it. And yet this would have been the perfect card to use on turn 2. But you can't use it on turn 2 because you need to attack it one more time in order to go. So this makes it a turn 3 deck, which kind of defeats the whole purpose. Because if you're going to turn 3, then you're going to be able to use this. One thing you could try if you wanted to create a quick turn 2 attack deck would be to use... Another option you could have is, do you have the Warden? Because the Mouse King is another card that gives you Power Gen 4s. And it doesn't look like you have the Mouse King. So then in that case, again, I'm only focused on the turn 2 attack deck. You may already have a deck that works well for you overall. Like I said, your Spirits United deck is going to be just fine. But I think that putting in Overloaded Balava and Crystal Phoenix would be that actually was how I ran my deck before I used, Crystal Phoenix and I used another commander card. So you might actually try putting those two and put in Hell, and then your guess at that point, then you can put in Spirits United and Kadak, maybe just to fill out the board, and that should give you enough damage on turn 2. To be honest, to be able to deal enough damage to get the at least get you the 15%, if not MVP. So I'm not sure if you're having issues with that, but that's something you can try and consider. So, and Karis, thank you for joining me to support the stream. Thank you very much. And Esuke, is there a chance to get Unchained Evangela from anywhere besides the 4-card chance, the event itself? Maybe a higher chance in the event packs. So if you need it for the Shining Hero, I will tell you this. It is available in the 100 Dust shop. But the thing is, because the 100 Dust shop contains Wardens as well, it's going to be quite expensive to try and get it. So like if you go to the Dust Merchant, you can try and pull her from the 4-star hero slot, but the chances are going to be pretty low, although it is available there. I've heard a lot of people trying to go after it to no real good, no real good success. So that's a risk that you're going to have to take. So Spire is also another option. Thanks for that tip there, Mount Fillmore. All right, so we've gone through quite a few decks here. Now what I want to do is I want to kind of go in and do a Proving Ground. So this is going to be a combination of the two. And let's see if there's any other chats I'm missing here. So Susan Thomas, you can only hit level 6 ultimate. We'll try a suggestion. Yeah, so that might help a lot if you use the relics there. So Karis, do I activate UR after UF? Yes, just activate your ultra rare card last. And so that would be my recommendation. And so Murderous Phaser, I will take a look after we do a quick round of the Proving Grounds. I just need to do one. And so my best setup is this the best setup I can have? So let me try and think for a second. Not really. What am I trying to do here? So this honestly, my best setup is going to be Soul Reaper. And I don't think I'm gonna get to 300. I'm not going to get the 300, but no, it wouldn't be Soul Reaper. My best option isn't going to be that. It's probably going to be... Yeah, I don't like the idea of having to depend on the Star Caller Headcat just because it's not... I don't really need to worry about the... Oh, what am I doing? I'm using... This is against a Fire Boss. I need a water deck. I need a water deck. So let's go with a water deck. So let's try this again. So good thing I didn't go in there and I kind of thought a little bit about it. All right, so it's going to be a Slayer card. So I'm going to be using Frozen Devastation. I can try and use the Timeless Lovers. Might as well put in all of my water. I don't really like this one though, Party Posse of Power, because it doesn't really do anything. It creates gems and I need party time to be active. So I don't really like that option. But in terms of water, really, I think this is the best, right? So really, I want to use my nuke cards as much as possible. So I might give that a try. So like the nuke is going to be the most helpful for me. And let's go with Water Slayer. I wonder how many of you were sort of like sitting in front of the screen, screaming that I'm using the wrong affinity, that I'm about to enter the Frozen, the Proving Grounds with the wrong cards. And so that would have been really hilarious, but not really. All right, so let's go and do this. Now, you can also use scrolls here, but I don't have good scrolls just yet. And my recommendation here is if you have just like a 1-star scroll, then you might as well not use this. So like right now, my scroll options are a 1-star Raging Infernal, 1-star. What is what am I looking at? I can't. The words are tiny. Constricting Thorns, and I also have the other 1-stars for. Regenerate and for heal up. They're all 1-star, not worth using. And remember the CH at the bottom right means charge. So it tells you how many of those you have. You can only use one per turn. All right, so we're going to start with this. Let's see how well we do. Nolia is wondering why you're wondering why the dark? Because I like to give myself a little challenge. So Vishal, I need the older Ultimate Forms. Check the recommended. Yeah, I don't think I have those. I can take a look at the thing, but the recommended is really just them saying like, oh, here are the cards that give you the best best sort of damage and they give you the killer bonus. But sometimes they're not always right. And so I kind of just go with what I can. And this is actually the ideal. This is gonna not do anything. Like, I really don't like the ultimate form for Timeless Lovers because you can't get anything until the turn after, and it only creates 3 Power Gem 4s. For an ultimate form card, it really is very lacking in terms of the power there. All right. And so I'm going to get my 3 Power Gem here, and this is only just going to give me Water Gem, so I will just be using it when I'm just going to be using it when I need to build up, gems to fill it up. And so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait 1 turn again. I'm going to see if I can at least get this. Yeah, so I can at least depend on this, right? So I can, this is the perfect timing. All of my passive got it, got activated, and I can use my nuke cards. So I got it right by old. I'm in the first 2 I've added. I see what you're saying. Okay. And so Rock for Life got to go to work by listening to the stream on the way. So thank you very much. Welcome, and thanks for stopping by. And Chris Fan, thank you for joining us here. And now that my leader has been blocked, I actually lose all of my leadership bonus as well. So that's going to suck. And so we're just going to wait and see maybe 1 turn. Like, I'm actually hoping for my Timeless Lovers to be blocked. So that is actually going to be ideal. But I guess that's okay too. Like, I want the Timeless Lovers to be blocked so that I can actually use my my other, my frozen, my posse of power to at least give me that 5 water gems. And so a little late, now that you actually get now that it actually got blocked, I don't need it anymore. But you can stay frozen. You can be frozen again. That's too bad. All right, so we're going to lose a little bit of power gems here, but what I can do now is I can at least do the power gem and then fill out the board a little bit. So I think I'm doing a lot better right now. So 1250, I'm already reaching sort of my high score there. So, but I am getting hit with Trader here. So I'm at 1300. Given that I'm already at the point where 2 cards are getting hit, I may not get the 1350, but we'll see. I think 1400 is the highest I've ever gotten. So let's go ahead and do this. My passive isn't activated just yet, but I don't think I can really wait, because it might be that my leader might be hit there, and so this still gives me an option to try to deal some damage there. Yeah, so now my leader is actually blocked. Not gonna be able to do much damage there. The goal is 1350s. Let's try this. So how are you guys doing for this particular fire boss? What's your high score? Like to hear where your scores are there. All right. I think I can take 1 more hit. I don't have any cards that heal. And so 1 more attack is all I can do. So I'm hoping that I don't lose my leadership bonus here. I think I can handle 1 attack. Let's see. Okay, so that's probably going to be... Oh, I only get attack once every 2 turns because it's a Slayer boss too. So that gives me a little bit of breathing room. So let's go ahead and do this. Oh, that was the wrong way to connect it. I missed out on the Power Gen 4 there. So let's hope this gets me over the threshold. And this is where if I had a Water Gauntlet, I would actually deal a lot more damage at this point because my rage stack is at 14. Oh, I guess I must have matched some. I guess I must have matched some heart gems, so that gives me some additional health. And so 960 just have the nuclear ultimate form. Yeah, so like without the ultimate forms, it really is going to be hard to deal the kind of damage you need. Oh, I'm so close, so close. Does this heal? I don't. Oh, this does heal. Okay, so let's go ahead and activate this, and so I think I will heal. So okay, I can actually heal a little bit, or I might just die because I didn't use it early enough. It got blocked so that I don't get the heal there. That's too bad. So really close to 1350. But yeah, this is also with 3 ultimate forms, and so that's about the best I could do, I think. And I'm gonna think a little bit, come back to it. But that's the fire one. So like water is a good team for me. I can't wait until I can use the light Slayer deck. So that's the one I'm looking for. So it's going to be a dark boss. I think that's going to be the last one in the rotation. So that's the Proving Grounds. I'm going to go back for my second attack and try to improve on that. But we'll see. And I also, let's see. I also haven't really been doing a ton with my... So who's in my league? So I'm in... what guild? What's the... Let's see. What's the Emperor League number? That doesn't say. I thought I used to tell you the league number. But anyway, 158. I'm just kind of really slowly playing right now. I want to see how many ultimate coins I have. So I have 15. I haven't even collected enough to hit an ultimate boss. Like I couldn't even show you guys if I wanted to. So unfortunate. So Skippy's on 26. Curry 1350. Very nice. Good job. So I think 1400 is the highest I've ever achieved, and that included sort of the play testing as well. So I know that if you have like all ultimate forms, eventually once we get the gauntlets, we should be able to do more damage, and so that's going to be more exciting there. But let's see here. Is there anything else I wanted to kind of talk about? So I think in terms of the decks, change the tab. It says the league. Oh, I see. So go in here. I'm in group 21. Thank you. I totally forgot there. So that's my league right now. If anybody's there, you can look down, scroll all the way down to the bottom. That's where you'll find me. I just haven't had the chance to play a lot. And in the Slayers, it's going to be really tough for me to really be at where I need to get the good scores. But I think I should be able to stay at least within the Emperor League. I'm keeping my fingers crossed on one. So I'll play a little bit more afterwards. So 1100. Yeah, I think, the thing I liked about the Proving Grounds at least is even if you don't do great, you're not going to be like so far off from people who can get good scores. Like you're going to be a few hundred here or there. And as a whole within the guild, if you can sort of collectively come and do relatively well, or let's say a couple people did extremely well in that one fight, you can sort of even it out and you can still get good scores. And so I think as a guild, let's see how we're doing as a guild here. As a guild, we're doing well. Like we're in 4th spot, so we are looking like we can move up from here. Yeah, so like the 4th, yeah, so we're actually in the cutoff to go up to Ruby. Is it Ruby? I think I forget the... So we got Diamond, Ruby. Yeah, so like after Emerald is Ruby, so you can go up to Ruby. That gives us 500 coins every day. I'll be good. So if we can keep it up and move up, that'll be really, really awesome there. So just looking for the rest of the guild to chip in and help out. So we're looking good. And, at this point, I'm at 1.5 thousand for the coins. I'm looking forward to getting the opening the TPG grades. I'll do a pack opening of the crates, if you will, and see what we get there. And then I think I can save up to get an old ultra rare card. The two that I talked about, one is definitely the Fist of Islam, and the other is going to be Sweet Savior. I've been holding on to my Innovator Drosselmeyer for a long time, and I really, really want the Sweet Savior because it has a really good sort of damage boost that you can provide for the light commander team. So I think that'll be really good as well. So Adrian, so what do I think about free-to-play having the possibility to buy Essence? So I think the Essence is something that you can actually get if you stay on top of your daily dungeons, and also if you stay on top of your if you stay on top of your weekly legend trials. And by legend trials, I mean you could do if you can do the gold one, that's great. Like that's just why, if you're able to do to get a deck that has Beast Killer, that's going to help you with all of your legend trials. And I think that in the silver trials, you could probably get it as well. So I guess to answer your question, I don't actually ever buy Essence. Even though I'm a VIP player, I don't actually ever buy Essence. I simply just collect them through play. So through gameplay, you go through your trials, you go through your daily dungeons. Like that's the thing that you definitely want to stay on top of. And if you're really looking for Essence, another way you can go after it is just simply buying it through the Honor store. So if you look in the stores here, do they still have the Honor store? Yeah, they still have the Honor pack. So if you look at the Honor pack, the things that you can get is not this one. I would actually get the Honor Guild pack, gift pack. So this one gives you also this also gives you a chance to get essence as well. Although I think it's an essence 3 rather than essence 4, and it costs 3,000 each time. So it depends on how much honor you have. You may want to save the honors for commander bosses. But my thinking is that it's offered for for gems, but I don't think a lot of people actually buy essence. And the other thing that you can do is whenever they open up the loyalty store, you can go into the loyalty store and you can get yourself some essence as well. And so in this case, you're going to be getting the essence 6, but that is, generally people need the essence 6 anyway to evolve their heroes. And so that is the other thing that I would do: save up your loyalty coins and just spend there. Like, I wouldn't recommend spending any gems on essence, to be honest with you. That is the one thing that I would say stay away from using your gems for essence, because you can farm it. So something you can farm, I would rather just do that. Gabor Pinter, is it worth ascending Lucaria? Only if you don't have any other Earth defenders, because honestly, like, the thing that you're gonna do with Lucaria is to catch people by surprise who aren't ready for for the birthright invulnerability. It can't be effective if there are teams that are going in without any immunity, and if they're going in without any turn delay, which, or if they don't have any revive. Now, given the way that the teams are going now, they usually can get through the first boss pretty easily, and then they may have a revive as well, so that you could also take a damage from Lucaria and then revive, and then they are basically good to go. So I would rather ascend other Earth Wardens that are better. Birthright Invulnerability is okay for probably lower tiers. Like, if your opponents are lower tier, and I think it's going to be effective. But if you're up against higher tier Guild versus Guild opponents, I don't think that should be the first thing you focus on in terms of ascending. There are other skills that you'll want to look at, and also newer wardens that's going to be more powerful, that would be better for you. So I don't think it's going to be worth it at this point, just because it's not going to be as helpful in Guild versus Guild. And so, Adrian, you spent a lot of honor, you use the dungeon, you need one more 4 to make upgrade. I see. So you need to be able to collect the shiny. I guess if you're at the situation where you have no more and you've already used all your honor, I'm trying to think where else you could get your essence. The thing is, you could always wait until the event ends to get the essence from the daily trials, and then collect your shiny right after event ends. So that's the other way you can do it. And so, Gabor Pinter, let's take a look at your card. Let me take a look at your cards, actually. So I'm trying to remember your in-game name, Surf Carly. So I might as well take a look at your Guild versus Guild setup here, because I think that you have better option than Lucaria. So let's take a look at your Earth Wardens. Oops. Now I can't remember what what is required to ascend Lucaria either. Like, if you have another option that you can use if you can use the Bastion shards for any one of these other wardens. So I wouldn't bother with Rothark, but definitely I would ascend Wicked Baba Yaga. And let me see. So that one's gonna be a good one for you to ascend, actually. This one is Strain. It's not what I would go after. Orthoclase Trios Chaos, that's okay. I mean, like, ascending it just means that it kind of bothers me a little bit. It's not really that great. I'm not sure if you don't have them or if you might have gotten rid of them. Like, if we take a look at the Earth commanders, the ones that I would definitely recommend, not commander, Earth Wardens. The ones that we saw recently, so let's see. I don't know if Despel Zeus is okay. Armor will be the last one. Like, you'll put it in the last slot. I thought the one that was really good was where did he go? Subject 13 is a good one, I think. Oh no, it's dodge. Not subject 13. It's May. May is the counterattack. So if you have May, you definitely want to get her. I don't see her, so I'm not sure if you didn't get her, but that would have been a really good one to have. But based on what I saw with what you had, I would actually try to send baby Baba Yaga. I think you already have her in your deck, but again, like I was saying, Lucaria, I feel like you should save your Bastion shards for a better Earth Warden that you're probably gonna get in the future. So that will be my recommendation there. So yeah, so like May with counterattack is going to be a must for your turn one as well. In terms of the Earth Warden, I don't use Earth myself, but I think that's what I would recommend. And so I think maybe one of the next, so Guild versus Guild is currently over, so we have time to talk it through. Maybe the next time we come for another session, I'll focus on taking a look at your Guild versus Guild cards. So like we might do one, could be over the weekend or something other than a Thursday. So I think for me, that's what I wanted to cover today, and hopefully the ideas I've talked about and I provided helps the rest of you who are watching this stream or watching the video afterwards. I just want to say thanks very much for all of your support so far, and this has been really great. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna come back on Tuesday for sure for another deck preview, but I will see if there is, if I get the deck, then I'll come up with some other ideas and, maybe another video just introduce like how to actually effectively play this deck. And if I manage to get the tokens, I will also record a video of me going up against the ultimate boss and see how I do there, so we can probably have ideas on how we can higher levels. So thank you very much, everybody. Thanks for a great evening here, and we will see you next time. Take care, have a good evening, good morning, wherever you may be, and have a good event. Cheers.